Hey everyone, this is Kevin Jesuit from Social Practice and Civic Engagement. So we're here today with two artists who are part of a theater company called Mudfoot Theater, we've just finished doing a community engagement project that's going to support another project. But can you tell us a little bit what did we do today?
Well, the City of Calgary's got a great program. They have these cleanup kits that you can pick up at any sort of central community area, like community centers. That is basically a kit that gives you everything you need in order to organize your own cleanup. So it's got gloves, it's got garbage bags, it's got hand sanitizer, and so it's this very easy program to just initiate our own kind of community gathering, in which we walked up and down the Bow River and found garbage and collected garbage, but we also were looking with the intent of finding unusual materials that we could incorporate into our upcoming puppet show. I'm Ian McFarland.
I'm Geneviève Paré.
And together you are?
Mudfoot Theater.
Okay. And you want to just tell us a little bit about Mudfoot Theater and maybe your own practice?
Yeah.
Sure.
So Mudfoot Theater is, we are a theater company that focuses on we are focused on reinvigorating the Canadian ethos through the performing arts, and we focus on what we call humble magic. So using found materials, using puppetry, using storytelling, kind of these grassroots ways of presenting theater, specifically around folklore and mythology.
I think we are interested in Canadian history in a way that is not expressed in broad spectrum culture. We're interested in finding the mythical components of our identity as Canadians and exploiting that, exploiting the conflict, the beauty of what it is to be a Canadian. Yeah.
So you talk about folklore and mythology and the Canadian ethos so in today's project, how does that translate into what you guys were trying to do today? Because obviously, a lot of people might look at what you did today as a performance. It's a public act, right? And so how does that relate to what you're trying to do in the larger spectrum? Because obviously this isn't the show you're doing. Mm-hmm. This is in preparation for the show. But does it translate into sort of what you're trying to do as a statement, as a mission?
You go. Okay, I'm going to go. So, part of our, it's not necessarily written into our mission, but a big part of our ethic and our sentiments is that there is an abundance of waste in the world, and we don't necessarily need to make any more of it, that there's enough waste out there that we can reappropriate it, reuse it, reincorporate it into something new. And so that has embodied itself into the aesthetic of the work that we do. We use a lot of found material. And so that was part of it today. So today we were collecting materials to create puppets. But at the same time, the show that we're writing is called River, a Puppet Myth, and it's about the Bow River. So it was a perfect opportunity to continue to tell that story of the Bow River by engaging with it and the conflict that exists at the Bow River in the city of Calgary through the trash that is around.
And when we started researching River, we got deep into it and deep into the environmental history and the cultural history surrounding this area, and a lot of our research just pointed towards our current living landscape. And so we thought, in order to continue to work on this project, we needed to actually engage in the communities that exist around us and to hear their stories and to engage with the landscape and the people that live here.
And you bring up an interesting point, and I think that's there. In context. So we're all based here in Calgary, Alberta, Canada. So Western Canada, we're right near the Rocky Mountains, and Calgary tends to be what is listed as one of the cleanest cities in Canada, but yet we are the center of oil and gas at the same time. It's this weird paradox with this city, and so maybe can we speak about that in terms of the role that we have as in what you're doing with found objects, or availabilism of what's just around and found. Is it political? Is it political?
I think everything's political. I think every action's got politics to it. Would you agree? Or you disagree?
I absolutely would agree, and I think what makes Calgary an interesting city is that dichotomy, that contrast. And we live in a city where people will hear about a river cleanup on the radio, and they'll come and they will join in the fun. And we go down to the river, and it's full of trash. And it's not just regular trash; it's debris from people who are living by the river because they can't afford to live in the condos that are looking over the river. You know, from a distance, the river is a beautiful, beautiful thing, and you get close to it, and you see all of the, the cans and cigarette packages, and so it's that contrast and dichotomy that we are hoping to exploit in the show to reveal how beautiful and also how dark things can be in the river valley.
So this is Ian McFarland and Geneviève Paré of Mudfoot Theatre, and we're here in Calgary, Alberta. Hope you enjoy. Come see the show. When does the show open?
Great question. The River, a Puppet Myth, opens at the Joyce Doolittle Theatre on June 7th and runs until June 11th.
And you can visit mudfoottheatre.com to find out about how you can get tickets.
All right. So here we are, another example of artists that are working in institutions like the theater, but are also trying to create some sort of public outreach where there's an engagement, and they're making some sort of social change, trying to make a social transformation with the work that they're doing. So thanks so much for your interview. Thanks for doing the work that you do, and can't wait to see the show.
Woohoo!
Thank you.